What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're asking the question, how do you bungle a $400 million state contract, leave motorists stranded 4 hours in the snow, get sued by 200 garages, and still maintain control of the state's inspection lanes for the next 25 years? Welcome to New Jersey, where accountability comes to die. Today, we're digging into the state's inspection lane disaster that somehow turned into one of the longest private-public relationships in state history. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and stay tuned.
In the mid-1990s, the U.S. EPA told New Jersey to clean up its act. Literally, the state had to upgrade its emissions testing system or lose federal highway funds. Officials at the DMV and Department of Transportation panicked. They couldn't decide whether to modernize the public system in-house or privatize it. Guess which option sounded easier? Right, hand it off to a private company. In 1997, New Jersey released its first request for proposals. It was brutal. The plan demanded the entire system be built and running within 15 months, with penalties of up to $1 million per day for delays. Every serious bidder took one look and ran for the hills. Not a single company bid. So in February 1998, the state tried again. The specs were so tight, only one company could handle it. Parsons Infrastructure and Technology Group out of Pasadena, California. Why were they so confident? Because they had help. Parsons hired a politically connected lobbying firm called Public Strategies Impact, owned by former New Jersey Transportation Commissioner Roger Bobman. They paid him to maintain access to top officials. His affiliate, DKB and Partners, got the public information subcontract. DKB's COO later admitted he didn't even know they'd landed the job until after the contract was signed. Between 1997 and 2000, Parsons and its affiliates donated over $500,000 to state Republican committees. And here's the kicker. Months before Parsons got the contract, the New Jersey Division of Criminal Justice had opened a probe into Parsons. That investigation was quietly dropped just before the contract was awarded. No charges, no public explanation. In August 1998, Parsons became the sole bidder and walked away with a 7-year deal worth $392 million. What began as an emergency plan to keep federal funds turned into a one-bid, politically greased mega contract. By 1999, experts were begging the state to slow down. Consultants like Sierra Research said the testing equipment wasn't ready. They warned that long lines and extreme public criticism were inevitable. But Parsons had a fix for that. They spent $15.7 million on a PR campaign, promising no long lines and friendly service. More money on ads than on the actual testing machines. On December 13, 1999, the system launched. Within hours, it imploded. Computers crashed, hoses froze, and scanners failed. In Newark, the average wait time hit 158 minutes. Governor Christine Todd Whitman admitted the system was nothing but lines, breakdowns, and frustration. By February 2000, the state finally snapped. It ordered stations to revert to the old test and opened investigations. But the PR train didn't stop. Parsons billed taxpayers for a $25,000 partnering seminar, an $11,000 motivational seminar, and a $9,000 company picnic. Meanwhile, the state was still paying back-end costs, audits, enforcement, training, utilities, adding up to about $92 million over 7 years. So much for privatization saving money. In 2001, the State Commission of Investigation began public hearings. In March 2002, the SCI released its report. It called the whole privatization effort ill-conceived and tainted by manipulation. The total price tag had ballooned to $590 million, about $200 million more than planned, and $250 million more than if the state had just done it itself. The investigation concluded that, quote, the events and circumstances that placed the state in a position with no option but to award the contract under the terms and conditions of Parsons Infrastructure's sole bid constituted the framework for a mammoth boondoggle perpetrated by a government upon its citizens. Tens of millions of tax dollars were wasted, and thousands of motorists were needlessly inconvenienced. You'd think this would be the end. It wasn't. In 2003, papers called Pay to Play business as usual, pointing at Parsons' donations and cushy PR contracts. Public outrage led Governor James McGreevey to sign a 2004 executive order banning big donors from getting state contracts. And yet, by 2008, when the inspection contract was rebid, guess who won again? Parsons. In 2010, New Jersey scrapped safety inspections altogether, saying it had saved $12 million. An audit later found the fee per vehicle fell only 67 cents instead of $3.24, losing $12.6 million in savings. One editorial called it blatant thievery. In 2013, the MVC extended Parsons' deal another 3 years. In 2016, the state tried again. A new RFP went to SGS Testcom, then it was rescinded after protests from competitors Opus Inspection and Parsons Infrastructure. In 2017, the state picked Opus Inspection. Parsons protested, saying Opus didn't meet specs. The state canceled the process. In 2019, another RFP. In December 2021, Opus was chosen again. Parsons protested again. May 2022, the Division of Purchase and Property said, no reason to disturb the award. Opus officially won, but the contract still wasn't executed. Translation: the challenger won on paper, but Parsons kept the job in practice. The extension ran through November 5th, 2023, with a 1-year option. The 2024 budget still listed a $39 million Parsons contract, and as of 2025, nothing's changed. The new contractor hasn't taken over. Parsons still operates the state lanes. 25+ years later, and New Jersey's still paying for no long lines.
There you have it. That's what I call the Parsons paradox. $400 million plan to modernize New Jersey's inspection system turned into a nearly 3 decades-long contract that no one can seem to end. Even after a more than disastrous start, being condemned for insider manipulation and pay-to-play in 2002 by a State Commission of Investigation report and being accused of blatant thievery, this company has managed to embed itself so far up New Jersey's ass that even after it's lost the contract 3 or 4 times now, they're still running the show and still collecting the dough. This is just another example of government corruption run amok. What can we do about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you on the next one.